Yeah, I thought last game we passed the ball a heck of a lot better, obviously, with 26 assists. And then when you make shots, of course, you look better. So I thought that was a really good sign. I thought Ohio Christian played really well. I thought we got a lot out of that. Very, very well coached. We needed a game like that for our guys' confidence. I told a couple of them just a little bit ago, this year's schedule early is very, very difficult, right? We're thrown into at Louisiana, at Michigan with a lot of new players. So we got to stay the course and just keep getting better.
I know after Michigan I talked to you about this team. Do you feel like they got better from Michigan to Monday night?
Yeah, I think so. But I think there's, ways to go. I think we still haven't seen Brett Thompson, E.J. Farmer, some of these other guys, what they're capable of, right? So sometimes, you're early in the year. Some guys have played a little bit better than others. But I think with this team, we have so many guys, so many new guys. Also, we've seen it as a staff because we played 5 games before this, right, with 3 in Spain and 2 scrimmages. So I think that's what I'm most excited about is I know we can play better. We just got to get them there, and I think a big part of it is working in practice, having good practices, and just building good habits.
One of the things you mentioned after the Ohio Christian game was how you guys typically play a lot of zone, but in that game you decided to play more man, switch everything, and you said that was something you would just kind of put in, just before the game. What went into that, and why did you decide to kind of implement that?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, how Christian plays different than any other team we'll face all year. Literally 50% of their shots are from 3. Nobody had played them zone this year, so we can only go what we see on synergy. So was a little bit concerned about that. But I think we'll be a team that will mix it up. Very similar to Utah Tech. We're playing a team that will play some man, we'll play some zone, we'll press. I look at them and us defensively, we're pretty much, pretty similar. So we're going to try to keep teams off guard, break their rhythm, be disruptive, whether it's zone, man, press, whatever the case may be. This team has great size, as you see. I-Man and Gabe and DJ and Ziggy and our wings, EJ and Brandon, are long and athletic. So we got to do some different things with this group than we have in the past. But I think it's a great way to play.
The kind of depth that you guys do and you're able to play so many guys, how does that help with being able to implement different defenses and throw different defenses at opposing teams?
Yeah, the neat thing about doing this for 12 years and having so many different groups through the years, Fairmont State here and also here at Youngstown, is I've had to play a million different ways: slow, fast, in between, zone, press, blitz ball screens, drop ball screens. That's what I love about basketball. That's why I just love watching it. I thought last night was probably the best night of college hoops. If you're a basketball fan, it was awesome. There was great mid-major games, great Power 5 games. I really like to press. I like to get up and down. I like to score the ball. I like to see the basketball go through the hoop. I think it's exciting for the fans, for your players. So we're certainly going to press, I think, more and more.
Jerrod, you played 2 teams that are out. You played in a non-D1. Where's your team at? I mean, how would you what kind of team do you have?
I think we'll see Friday night. Utah Tech is heck of a story. Their coach has been there a long time. They've transitioned to D1. They got 3 guys in double figures, but, they just went on the road to Jacksonville State and won. Played Santa Clara to the final minute and a half, 2 minutes. Santa Clara late last night, beat Stanford. So Utah Tech can play, and they're very well coached. Their coach has got a lot more wins than I got. He's been doing this a very long time. So it's going to be a tall task. We're going to have to be ready to play. Scheduling is crazy, Dana. As you know, you got your bye games, you got your mid-major games, you got some of your home and homes. Scheduling right now for successful mid-major programs is much more difficult than people think. You're coming off a championship, 24 wins, all that stuff. hard to get home games, right? So I always tell our guys, we got to win the games we're supposed to win. We got to defend home court. It's a Friday night. Football's out of town. You got some great high school football teams still, in the mix, hopefully going to win some state championships for our area. So we get that. You got to go support those teams. I'm sure you'll probably be doing double duty. You do a great job with the high school stuff, and high school is a big part of it. But the people outside of that, Dana, we hope can get in here to the Beeghly Center, right? Last year was electric. You saw that video at the end of the year where it kind of went viral. It went from nobody in the stands to whatever it was at the last 6 or 7 games. We got to get somewhere in between there, right? And Friday night's a great starting point because you're playing a very, very good opponent, and it would certainly help our kids to see a packed house. Yeah, Sunday's going to be a strange one because you got Browns Steelers. I just got tipped off that Deshaun Watson's out, so I'm not happy about that as a Browns fan. Just crazy, we can't catch a break. But that game time's kind of strange with that game going on, and as good as those teams are. But you got Josh Irwin in the game. Love Josh. We still text and talk, and he's coming back here, and he'll have something to prove. Very good team. EJ's cousin is on that team. A lot of Cleveland guys, so they're very good. They played a top 10 team in the country in Division II and lost in overtime. And then you got Bobby Hain, former YSU player. So there's a lot of storylines with that game, but we got to be ready to go both Friday and Sunday.
You touched on scheduling real quick. What can change? I mean, is it a process where you could maybe schedule games for next year already? Or?
Well, here's what's kind of going on with that, Dana. So teams at the Power 5 level and at the low to mid major, they don't make those decisions until they see what you get on your roster, right? So they're looking at, all right, let's see how Youngstown does this year. Who do they have coming back? Who are they going to add in the portal? We didn't have our schedule done, a month ago. It wasn't done, So with today's age and the way the portal is and returning guys, are they coming, are they going? Nobody wants to, sign on the dotted line on a contract. So we have to play 4 quad 1 or quad 2 games based on where we were this year. The Horizon League puts you in kind of a bracket, and you have to follow those scheduling guidelines. So somebody asked me the other day, well, what do you think of the league? And I said, you can't really know what the league is. You can look at some scores and you can watch the games, but until we start playing each other, the schedules are so imbalanced. Like our net right now, we're in the 120s. It's higher than last year, although we're 1-2. But last year we opened up with Tennessee Martin at home and at Canisius, and we lost at Notre Dame. So we've played 2 real quality opponents at Louisiana and at Michigan. You're finding out Michigan could end up being a top 10 team in America here real soon. They go to Madison Square Garden and we're up against St. John's by 27 points. So we've played 2 really quality opponents. So I don't know. Like you said, what do you have? I know we're very talented. We're a work in progress. We got to continue to put possessions together. But I like our talent. I like our makeup of our team. I think our kids are really good guys. We don't have any selfishness. I do think they're really still trying to figure it out, how to play with one another, our system, our rotations. But this scheduling piece, Dana, unfortunately for us where we're at, I don't see it getting any better. I see it actually only getting worse. So I don't know. I don't know what how the league will continue with our non-league tiers.
But if you're able to, you would be able to sign to play Team X right now.
Oh, yeah.
You would
Yeah, we would always of our 11 games, we would 6 inside the Beeghly Center, right? So you play 11 non-conference opponents. Majority of those, 50% you'd like at home, 50% on the road. Mid-major wise, you want to do return games, right? Louisiana bought us, Dayton bought us, and Michigan bought us. So we played 3 bye games, brought in quite a bit of money to play those. OU was a home and home. When we signed that contract, they were a top 100 team in the net. So that actually counts as a quad 2 game for us. So that's how we're able to do that, not play another Power 5. But, you look at Wright State, Northern Kentucky, ourselves, and Oakland, and Milwaukee, those 4 or 5 teams were upper tiers. So we're having to play 4 quad 1 or quad 2 games. So our schedules, the top 5 teams based on last year, but really based on this year's projections, which it's hard to project what a guy's going to do and what a team's going to do. We were mandated to play a very difficult schedule, which I think is good for the league because whoever gets the NCAA tournament bid, our net will be better, but we got to win some of those games. And as you know, it's very difficult to go on the road and win those games. But look at our net right now. It's really high because we've challenged ourselves with 2 very difficult games on the road. None of us are happy where we're at as far as our win-loss, but you also got to be a little bit realistic on who you played and where you played that game and where your net is right now. But I honestly could talk to you for 2 days about scheduling. That's a great question. I think it's one of the most talked about things at our level of how you navigate this thing, So, when you play non-ones, it doesn't count against your net, right? So people can say, well, you played 4 non-ones. Well, we didn't really want to. We wanted to play Western Illinois, which we had a contract, and Niagara, which was supposed to be in our tournament this weekend. Now we're in the Lake Erie Classic. It's not our tournament. That's where our schedule fell. So that's where you see a little bit of an imbalance. You're playing a Michigan, and then you're playing an Ohio Christian team. You're playing a Utah Tech team, and then a Lake Erie team. That's why you have to be mature and get better every game and every day because it is a little bit unbalanced early. It's very, very different this year. Good question.